Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm a prolific user of the tennis analytics app SwingVision. I've been using it for nearly 2 years now, and I recorded about 160 matches or sessions so far. And in the process, learned quite a bit about the tool and how to use it. I'm also a data scientist by day job, and I've been working in the field of analytics for the last couple of decades. And this tool is way more than just a tennis video recording app. And so I want to showcase how I'm using this tool and how I'm going to use this tool to improve my game. Okay, let's go through the analytics capability of SwingVision as of 9th July 2020 have today. Let's watch a match. So what you're seeing here is the SwingVision app that I installed on my Mac. And you can also see that in your iPhone. So what you see here is, this is the date in which it was played, July 8th, that was yesterday, and the total duration of the match, an hour and 30 minutes. And the players, that's me, and the opponent. And even here, there are some interesting stats, right? I played 344 shots and ran about half a mile. And this is the score that I entered, the video over here. So if you scroll down, every match will have its own entry, and plenty of matches I've played. So let's just look at a singles match today. So you come here, and even here, if there are 4 sections over here, if I click here, I will go to the video and the video player with other analytics. But let me get into the match first. So it loads the match data and statistics. So what you see is this is the main section over here where there is a video screen, but there are also 4 other screens over here that's hidden over here. And then the section over here, what you see are automatically generated highlights. The section you see over here is a collection of interesting points. There are various ways, like the system itself is automatically identifying some points of interest. So it's artificial intelligence highlights. Sometimes they're good. That shows 5 points that you like, or 5 most tiring rallies. So, right, or 5 longest rallies. There are quite a few interesting collection over here. And then if you scroll further, these are a new interesting sections they have introduced, and I'm actually thrilled by that. So this section points out to the top patterns that were beneficial to you. And we will go into all of these things. In this section, the one below, shows the patterns where you could improve. So all these are, as you see over here, this tab is where you can select various options. So let's go through these options briefly. So the AI coach is the feature which we just talked about that tells you where you did well and where you could improve. This is automatically generated. If you want statistics about the entire match, you can click this tab. That is, if you want to watch history of the entire match point by point, you can go here and statistics by shots. And it has a placeholder to enter notes. So these are the major sections of the application. So let's go through these sections one by one. So in this section, if you click here, you can come and watch the match completely. If you just click once, you get this screen, this window, which tracks the shots with an account. Okay? And now let me pause this for a second. And you see these 2 scroll bars at the bottom? This one is a scroll bar for the entire video, so you can move to any point in the match. And this is the position within the current point. And I love this. This is a great learning tool. In fact, there is a way to have, okay, let's say I'm watching this point play out. Okay, that's good, right? So, but for whatever reason, like you want to see how you scored, you can just use the scroll bar and move and watch. I mean, this feature is such an amazing learning tool. Like if you are the person who's serving and if you want to see how anything you want over your foot, it gives you an opportunity to minute details at your own leisure. Appreciate what's going on. Hey, where's my toss? I'm pointing. Am I going it right? Is so a tremendous learning aid where you can watch it pretty much what's happening within a point, frame by frame. Okay. So now if you want to go to previous point, you just double click here, just like you would do with any video. Or if you want to go to the next point, you click here. Now, the screen you see over here tracks the speed and it recognizes the shot of the for whether it's forehand or backhand, and also tries to infer the spin. So in this case, it figured out it was a flat shot. So what I hit from there, it's recognized as a topspin backhand and at 51 miles per hour. So that's pretty good. So yeah, so this was by my opponent. This is considered as a flat backhand shot. Now, one point I want to emphasize, people often get confused with this, the serve speed and in fact the shot speed. So let's just watch this. Okay, so the system recognized this as a kick serve, 65 miles per hour. Now, traditionally, when the radars measure, right, when the speed is measured in radar or as is shown in speed guns or as shown in TV, the speed is the launch speed here. As soon as it leaves the racket, what is the speed which the ball is launched? So obviously it is, I shouldn't say obviously. So at this point, SwingVision team has opined that it's very hard to compute that launch angle given the limitations. So instead what they do is they present the ball travel speed. So the time it takes for the ball to travel from here till the contact point here. So they actually compute the average ball travel speed and give it. So what I was told is when I contacted SwingVision, in fact, even in their website, they were mentioned somewhere that you just add about 20% to the number that you see. And that would give you a good estimate of, the actual speed. So a 65 mile per hour serve would translate to 65 plus, what is that, 20% of that is plus 13. So 65, about 75 to 80 miles per hour. So that gives you an idea. Okay. So this is the viewing screen. But one of the most important feature in this screen are the filters that I use quite extensively. So going back to, so let's see what are all the filter options that are available and why this is such a tremendous learning tool for estimating where you stand. And for now, again, I'll be just going through the high level features. Later, when we are going through game improvement strategies, I'll come back and show how I'm using this to analyze my serves, forehands, and whatnot. So you can filter before that. So let's go back actually. So there were totally the 116 points in this match. 116 points in this match. So now if you want to filter, you may actually filter by points out of those 116 points. Say if you just want to filter the 5 longest or 10 longest. So these are the options. Tiring, I don't know how they compute. So in this way, there are certain ways in which you could highlight. You could just select. Say, let's say you just want to identify obviously if you select the 10 longest, it's going to give you the points, 10 points, right? So that's what you're going to see. I'll just show you. So click down over here. So you see over here, it's selected 10 points. You can watch these. So as you can see, there were about 9 shots in the rally. So that's why it's got classified as a long point. Now you could go back and instead of selecting the rally type, if you select rally length, this gives you option to select by these filters. You can select the number of shots that had above 7 or below 5. So this gives you various ways to look at things. Like let's say I want to analyze how am I performing at the shot points. You can just do under 3, under 5, or above shot. So let's say if I select above 7 shots, what I'm saying is there are again 10 points that are above 7 in this match. Okay. Then let me make sure I selected those correctly. No, actually it's wrong because I also had that selected. So now above 7 shots, if I go here, I see that there are 14 shots, 14 points that are above 7 shots. Now when I go back, so similarly, you could also look at other options, like how did the point end? Was there a forehand winner by both team, right? Backhand winner or whatnot, and four options, forehand win, six options, forehand backhand winners, forehand error, service winner, or ace. Now the key thing is these are all automatically detected by the app, and now the winner, you could say like let's say if you just want to watch forehand winners that you did, okay, you can do that, and say I just want to see the opponent had a lot of wins, so and finishing shot as a forehand winner, right? You could, I can remove this above 7 shots. Now I go over here. So there were 8 such winners by the opponent. So, yeah. So you can see like this can give me, I just want to show you what you can do so that hopefully this will inspire you to analyze. Why are there so many winners? Are you not positioned properly? Did you not give deep enough? So you can start asking questions and analyzing these. And this to me, honestly, the filters is one of the most powerful features of this particular tool. Like anything, like let's say you want to analyze your serves, aces, like, okay, my serves, or let's see if there were any ace. Maybe there were one or two. Yeah, there's just two. Okay. Yep. So this is all at a complete point level. Now, if you're focusing on shots, so the point level, what is the value of point level? I would say point level analysis is good for strategy to figure out what you're doing at a strategy level, right? In general, again. Now, if you're focused on skill level, then the shot by shot is a great way to analyze. So you can analyze by, let's quickly go through all the options. Of course, the player, whose shot do you want to analyze? Then you could analyze the stroke. Again, all these are automatically inferred. Forehand, backhand, your serve, volley, and overheads are automatically inferred. And depending on what you select over here, other shots will change. So since I've not selected anything over here, but let's say I want to come here and do my serve. Okay, I've selected my serves. It asks whether you want to include a return also, and for analysis, or you want to, let's say you are working on, again, this comes to the strategy side, not just skill. If you're planning about surplus ones, like how you're planning the third shot as soon as opponent returns, you can include that. So let's say I don't want those things for now. I just included the serve. Done, right? Oops, there's the serve, include the serve. Okay, so I included this. But once I selected the serve, you come over here. Now this context menu has changed to first serve or second serve. So this is where, since let's say I'm just focused on my first serve, okay, and I get that. So now show me all the first serves. Of course, it's now going to show for everybody. I want to see for myself. Then I select this. Now show me Joseph's first serve. Okay, and let us say I want to just focus on the serves that I hit wide on the deuce side. You can do that. So in this way, you can select the direction of your serve. And then, as a surveyor in this way is already seen, but the result is again a great filter. Like a lot of times you want to analyze what is the difference between a serve that went in versus one that went deep versus one that was hit to the net. And you can select accordingly and analyze. Let us say I'm only interested now for analysis for serves that I hit into the net when I served wide. Okay, so now I've selected Joseph's deuce wide first serves that I hit into the net. So there were 6 such shots that I hit into the net. So this gives me an opportunity just to view all those things. So again, first serves that are hit at least towards the deuce side, wide, and that went into the net. So you can get this specific. Now, if you want to analyze this part, you can use one amazing feature, exporting these things. So any filtered collection can be exported, or you could select the export the collection, filtered collection. In this case, the 6 shots that is filtered, or the current shot. And you can do save video and come here, and here are 3 options. The horizontal is the entire screen that you're seeing, or you can see if you're selecting to post to media, social media, something, square format for Instagram or Facebook, or vertical for YouTube. So you can choose the option you want, and export it. And an interesting feature here is the auto panning that you see over here. If it's horizontal format, they show the entire video. But if you select a square or vertical, they actually change the viewport of the video, so make it feel like it's actually a camera that's tracking. Which works in some situations. Sometimes it clips off a lot of. So it's as easy as just export it, and since it's exporting only 6 shots, it's pretty fast now. Got it. And of course, if you go to your edit and download. Okay. So this app downloads, since this is an app, this downloads onto your photos folder. And if you go on, so this is the exported picture. Sorry, the video that we just exported. Now I'm playing it through QuickTime. I do this is this is one of the limitations as of now with SwingVision. I can't advance and watch this frame by frame. But if I come here in this app, I can watch it frame by frame. So, and this is very helpful, especially on improvements like, so say I want to watch hey, where my shoulder is pointing when I position, where is my feet right now. So I'm actually using my cursor to advance this video frame by frame, and I can pause at any stage. Okay, where am I releasing the ball? So when you analyze frame by frame, you can observe a lot of things like, okay, what is the maximum toss height? Where is it peaking? And all those things like what is the contact? Is the contact clean with the racket? And during contact, what is the rest of your body doing? Are you elevated enough? What's your left hand doing? Where is your head pointing to? So this gives you suddenly when this gives you an opportunity to observe yourself for all the things that people ask you to do, the coaches ask you to do. Like if you're watching a lot of YouTube videos, or if you have personal coaching, there's really no other way for people or yourself to observe today, with such precision. So that's where I feel this is incredibly powerful. And one of the things I do is I actually open multiple such windows. See, usually what I do is I export the serves. See, this is actually a collection of serves, first serves to the deuce wide that I missed in the net. I could similarly export the serves that I made and see what's the difference. So in this way, this ability to filter is incredibly powerful. So we've seen all these things, and there are some of the you get the gist of what the screen can do. A couple of other ways, like as you're watching, you could favorite some of these things so that you can just export your favorites. Or if you just use the include option, you could just, I think, export just the ones that you included. All right, let's go back to the main screen. So we've seen the capabilities of the video. So let's quickly go through the insights you can get out of these other screens. So this screen shows the placement of your shot, where your shots were placed. And again, you can select it for yourself or your opponent over here. And if you're playing doubles, obviously you can select for each of the players, each of the 4 players. So even here, you will see a very interesting pattern. That is, the yellow as backhand and green as forehand. And you can see there are a lot more yellows for me than greens. And you can actually just select those things. See, there are definitely fewer greens than yellow for me. Whereas when you look at my opponent, he's predominantly green, meaning he has a very high percentage of forehands, number one, and forehand shots, okay? Forehand shots that were hit. And look at the depth of his shots. The shots were more towards the back half of the court, and just look at the number of lines he made, So he's pretty hitting very well and nice and deep, and even the misses are very close to the line. So he had a really good forehand. And when I look at my shots, you can see that I'm hitting a lot more to the middle of the court than towards the depth. So even right off the bat, you can see that kind of information. So this screen shows the hitting position. So the previous screen showed the shot placement position, and this one shows where you're hitting from. Again, as you can see, opponent predominantly he's very dominant on forehand. So look at the shots over here. These are mostly in the ad area, but still he's running around or making those things as forehands. Whereas if you look at me, for instance, there's a pretty even background distribution. And in fact, I've been hitting a lot more backhands than forehands that I mentioned already. But even shots right in the middle, many of those things I'm taking it using backhand. Okay. All right. And the last screen is serve placement. This gives us an idea about how the serves are distributed. All right. So these are the four screens: the serve placement, hitting position, shot placement, in the video. Okay. So these are standard filters applied automatically, so for hot filters or something. So we talked about it. If you just want to get the 5 most tiring rallies or 5 longest rallies, I mean, it's easy for if you want to share with people, just to excite interest, just select those things and share, export and share. Okay. Now let's go into. So the AI Insights is a fairly new thing. I think it's been there for less than a month or so. But essentially, it shows you the patterns where you're doing better, you're good, you're having higher than average chance of success, and other ones. So in my case, it says on the deuce side, I won 75% to the point where I served down the tee, then hit the next shot to the body. Okay. And you can actually go and watch those videos too. If you click here, you can go and watch just those errors. It's another filtering based on this, what they call AI inference. So you see the 3 such shots with that pattern one. Okay, so let's go to, we are close to the end, so let's talk about the other features over here. All right, match statistics. Now this is, hope you can see, this is professional level statistics that you see on TV. So it shows at the match level, then breaks down by the set level. Same thing. So you can go and select what are the statistics just for first set, second set. And if you look at, so I'll just quickly go through, run through these things. Aces, service winners, double faults, winners, forehand winners, backhand winners, unforced errors, forced unforced errors, backhand unforced errors, first serves in, second serves in percentage, first serves won. So if I have to look for myself, since I'm working on serves, my first serves in, I got about 58% in. That's actually good for me. So yeah, so again, many data points, and if you're observing this over match, you can get the baseline and some insights into whether you're making improvement. Now, point history it's almost like a running commentary where you see what happened at a point level. Again, if you want to watch any particular point, you can just go and click the player here and it'll take you to watch that particular point. And it gives a brief summary of how the point ended. Just this level, like a history of point by point, even very recently, you have to track these. In fact, I recently got certified as a coach, tennis coach. And one of the things that was taught to us during the course was how to keep track of points during a match so that you can actually, if you then go and debrief with the student, you can talk about it. Just imagine, now you have the ability to just go and filter or watch anything, just scrub this and show. Incredible. So now let's go to this, the shot statistics. This is an area that, again, I use quite extensively. So you come here and I would recommend you select this show advanced stats. That'll give you more refined. It'll break down the serves into first serve, second serve, and some of the shots. So in this case, you get information about first serves for where you say your first serves, percentage in, serve percentage, average speed. Similarly, that's for the due ad side and due side. Similarly for second serves. Then talks about returns, second return, first serve returns, second serve returns. Then your primary shots, forehand, backhands. So and then the distribution of shots over here, like so in this case, I think the opponent has selected, so 53% of all the shots of the match were forehands for him, and it shows the other shot distribution. And this is the distribution by spin. Like it says there are a lot more slices and topspin and flat. And this is the speed distribution of each ball. The real tall spikes actually just a tip over here are actually errors. We don't serve at 120 miles per hour at our level period, but once in a while it records because of, it records so don't get too carried away by those numbers. Now this is where it gets interesting. When you look at my statistics, it's very different. Like I hit with a lot of topspin compared to him, right? As you see over here, I mean, relatively speaking, more. Hardly employed slice, again, relatively. But this is where it's really interesting. If you look at my shots, my forehand is a small fraction. Nearly 43% of all my shots are backhand. Contrast that to the opponent, where the backhand is such a smaller slice. So we saw insights at point level, insights at the shot level, and within a shot, we were able to go and look at it by the results, the outcome. So the tool gives so many ways to analyze our performance. And this is just out of the world, really, really. Like, I don't think anything like this exists. So now, going back to my original premise, as very good information, but a lot of information, how do we translate this and use this for our improvement, game improvement? And this problem, and this is where my day job's learnings from my day job comes into picture, because business also, we see the same thing. We have a lot of data in business situations, a lot of reports, but how do we translate that into actionable things? How do we track them? How do we follow on, measure improvement, right? That requires a lot of skill. And frankly, I think that is a challenge. I don't think people who are using SwingVision really appreciate the value of the tool at this level. I think people just watch it, maybe just for watch the video once or twice, and that's it. Whereas here, I see every match as rich data for analysis, immensely rich data that we can leverage. So, in this series, I'm going to be presenting for every area that I'm planning to improve. I'll be showcasing how I'm using the tool to, first of all, establish a baseline of where I am today and what I will be planning, what is my plan or strategy for improving a particular thing, and then measure improvement, all while playing matches.